ACC Elite Championship action here on AAU Plus and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. However it is you've decided to be a part of our broadcast today, I'm Alex Wiederspiel here with our final game of the weekend from the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Ice Arena in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Just a stone's throw away from the campus of Wake Forest University. Got a good one for you. Virginia, St. Joseph's. Two dominant performances for Virginia leading up to this championship game for the number 2 seed. They have outscored their opponent by a combined score of 16-1. Now, that was what St. Joseph's did in their opening round game, a 16-1 blowout win over Appalachian State. And then in the second game, things got a little interesting. As they have done in every game of this tournament, St. Joseph's jumped out to a fast start. They led 4-1 over Elon and seemed like they were going to boat race their way into the finals. And then Elon went to work. St. Joseph's made a goalie change, and here we are. Looks like that goalie change is going to stick today, by the way. Cooper Tyson is in net for St. Joe's in relief of Bryce Sullivan, and he will start. Meanwhile, we'll also, similar to Virginia, or similar to St. Joseph's, Virginia has a situation like that as well. Not quite the same as very strong first game for their starting netminder, Manu Naik. And Naik didn't work a lot in that first game, and dominant 8-0 win over Charlotte for Virginia. One of the most dominant performances I think I've seen in the last 2 weekends from a defensive perspective. They just didn't let Charlotte have time or space for 60 minutes. Then, yesterday, Billy Bass gets the start for Virginia in their game against Georgia Tech. Bass was pretty good and had an excellent second period in particular. He winds up getting the start today for the Cavaliers. A couple of lineup changes. We'll get into some of those for Coach Kyle Sinott's squad coming up, and a couple of lineup changes for Dean Keeney's Hawks squad. We'll get into all of that coming up here in just a few minutes. As we're set to begin with starting lineups here and the national anthem for the ACCHL Elite Tournament Finals. That's coming up next right here on AAU Plus and YouTube.
Greetings from Jacksonville, the flip side of Florida. Around here, something special is always brewing. Tap into our thriving beer scene and hit the ale trail to enjoy craft beers from over 25 local breweries. So hop on by, pull up a chair, and raise a glass to the flip side. On the flip side, anything is possible, except running out of delicious beer. Learn more at visitjacksonville.com.
On the flip side, you can always hit the beach. It's beach day every day in Jax. On the flip side, we're always cooking up something good. Sink your teeth into Jax.
You can go wild on the flip side. unplug and unwind in Jax.
The surf's up on the flip side. Wave hello to Jax.
Boy, have we got a good one for you. Virginia and St. Joseph's. Set to get started here. Officials meeting at center ice. Everybody is ready to roll. We're checking final checks with the scorekeepers. Might become a new tradition here in Winston-Salem. Alex Wiederspiel here with you. Final game of the weekend. Been a dynamite season for both of these teams. St. Joseph's will be headed to the AAU championships coming up, and they will be getting promoted one way or another as they will be heading to the ACC Premier Division next season. Coming out with their first line of Shanahan, Carpenter, and Ramarino. Borman and Wilson at the blue line. And Virginia wins the opening faceoff with a slightly different look. Ooh, as that one skips up on the netminder, Tyson. Concern there is Ramarino will give chase to an empty puck, or to a loose puck in an empty space near the corner. Took a pretty big hit. Virginia moving the other way. This is Adam Trubish getting the start today at forward. Bit of a different look. It's, of course, Cristiano and Stoner. Virginia has these just phenomenal defensemen, Cristiano, Stoner, McMillan. But a little bit of a different look as a big hit thrown there by Cristiano. Trubish now with the puck. Trubish and Lyman getting the start out there. And then Connor Coe playing up at forward, it appears, right now. He was listed as a defenseman yesterday. He's up at forward today. This one sent on by Adam Trubish, was wide of the net, comes back out to the neutral zone. Virginia will send deep one more time. That did not get through, though, and can't have neutral zone turnovers against this St. Joseph's team. Could say the same thing against Virginia. Georgia Tech learned that the hard way yesterday, as this is sent in deep and looks like it's going to be an icing, and it is. Couldn't beat that one out, as hit a couple of players for St. Joseph's giving chase there. Kyle Gross in for the first time for St. Joseph's in this tournament. Gross had been dealing with a suspension, and off a face-off win, quickly fired on Neil Cudahy, who had already scored a couple of goals this tournament. Big opportunity there, and it's swallowed up by Bass, excuse me. Virginia's Hunter Carlson, typically who's been anchoring the second line, couldn't quite get the clear there after the face-off. And finally, puck will scored out of the zone, sent back in by Christopher Hunter. Virginia goes to get it, turnover forced by St. Joseph's. Two teams, in many respects, playing a strength-on-strength game. Lots of skill, lots of speed. They like to force turnovers in the neutral zone, and they have both proven at different times in this tournament that they could be a defensively stifling team, that just because you're high-flying and fast doesn't mean you can't play sound positional defense as well. I would give the edge to Virginia slightly in that front, but St. Joseph's third period yesterday was indicative, if it was indicative, of what they're capable of as a five-man unit for an entire period. Watch out. This one fired in front, and attempted bad angle shot. Goalie has to make a save, then sent all the way back down. Bass is calling for icing. He's going to get that, and Virginia will get a chance for an offensive zone face-off here. Cavaliers have been very strong this season, but they've been even stronger in this tournament in particular. They earned the 2 seed during the regular season to get here. They have outscored their opponents 16-1, wins over Charlotte, and perhaps more impressively, wins over a resurgent Georgia Tech team that looked like they were ready to get back into competitive mode after a few years of down hockey, and Virginia had other ideas yesterday in that win here at the Fairgrounds. Re-entering the zone, fired on, no problem there for Tyson. Tyson's first shot of the game yesterday that he faced, he allowed in, and he has not allowed in a goal since. First shot that he faced, to be clear, as he was coming in relief. Long pass, stretch pass up for St. Joseph's. The Hawks into the slot. Opportunity developing. Couldn't get the shot off. Does get one eventually and wide of the net, but the initial opportunity for St. Joseph's, Zane O'Rourke, was the big one. There is a penalty on the play, it looks like, against UVA. That'll send this talented Hawks unit to the power play, but if we get another look at that, I think Zane O'Rourke essentially had an empty net. And then Michael Brazil, who, good to see he's playing, as he got a little banged up yesterday, but finished the game. Couple of opportunities there, and no one could get a shot on cleanly. Thanks for the replay there, Levi, as always. Best in the business. Back below the red line, and they go low to high here. St. Joseph's looking for an early lead. That one's going to trickle behind the netminder, but he kept it out. I do not know how Billy Bass just kept that out of the net. St. Joseph's will reset from the point. Shot on. Net is wide open, but couldn't get a shot off cleanly from a bad angle. They'll reset again, sending around the boards to the half wall. At the dot, back to the point. Fired on, doesn't get through, and this will be cleared by Max Lyman. Opportunity now for the Hawks as they move back up the ice. Dylan Kuba, talented player, got it up in deep. James Carpenter, who might very well be this tournament MVP if St. Joseph's wins this game. Couldn't quite get possession of the puck there. He had one of the best goals of the tournament yesterday. An in-tight, between-the-legs goal that we just haven't seen hockey quite like that. It was an incredibly high-skill play. Turnover in the slot. Virginia decides to just send this back up. That was Zave Green. Green, typically a top-line winger for this squad. A little bit of a different look today as Marcus Kim came out. So Virginia's top line today will be Green, Michaud, and Western. As looks like the Cavaliers are going to kill this power play. An excellent penalty kill. Maybe one or two really good chances, but otherwise that was early. Virginia was better later as Brazil carried in for the Hawks. Pass screaming through the slot. No one could connect with it. Now Virginia with some speed moving up the ice, trying to maintain the zone. They were able to successfully do that. Turnover in the slot. Opportunity. Backhander on. That one went high. I don't think the goalie got any piece of it. I believe that was Azapardi who got the shot off as this is chipped down into the Virginia zone. Giving chase on this puck is Aiden Chong for Virginia. Chong came up with it and sends it back out. Opportunity developing, shot on. I believe that's Connor Coe. We have a slight numerical roster difference that we're going to have to solve, but believe 23 today is actually Connor Coe. He had been wearing 22. Shot on from the point. Yeah, there's the replay, and he didn't really need to make a play on it. That one, though, Tyson does, and he makes two saves. This cleared back out. No, not going to get past Coe. Opportunity on, and that will be directed high. Big shot here. Tyson through traffic made not one but two saves on that play. And these are the types of coaching decisions that theoretically make or break a tournament. And the decision to go back to Tyson after his strong performance in relief yesterday, that was the choice of head coach Dean Keeney. Shot flubbed from the point. Now Virginia with some numbers, but not with much speed. They'll enter the zone. Firing one on, easy one for Tyson. It was low, and he was all over it. Face-off won by the Hawks. St. Joseph's sends this all the way back down. No icing as it slowed down. And then a nice little stick check to free the puck in the slot. Opportunity. Firing one on. Doesn't get there cleanly for Carpenter. And no save needed for Bass. Cristiano was trying to get it out of the zone. Couldn't quite do it. Another one fired on. A seeing eye shot doesn't go. Off the boards. Another attempted shot. And it was blocked by a Virginia player. Sent all the way back down into the Hawks zone. Oh, for a moment there, that could have been a neutral zone turnover or a breakaway, and neither opportunity occurs. Now Virginia. Shot on, that one goes wide of the net. Little pass behind for by Robert Ramarino, for Dylan Kuba, as they're going to get a line change going for St. Joseph's. I'm good for that once a game, folks. Apologies. St. Joseph's makes the line change, but Virginia able to take possession, sends this one down, but looks like going to be an easy icing call here. So Virginia will have to keep their 5 out. Looks like Green, McMillan, Jovi Green, who seems to have drawn into the lineup today. And in the meantime, Kyle Gross, off his suspension, wins the faceoff. Shot was blocked, though. Sent this one back to Christopher Hunter. Unable to get any shot developed there. Trubish now working with it at center ice. Flips this out. One Cavalier giving chase. The rest are going to go make a change. Puck comes out, going to try a stretch pass. That one a bouncer. This is going to be difficult. Diving play. They're going to get a penalty here on Virginia. Wow. McMillan can't believe it. I got to tell you, he's got a case, but he's got to be careful. In real time, I think McMillan has a case. And the UVA fans hate it, but McMillan's got to be careful here. You can only give it to the official for so long. We'll see the replay here. This is a bouncing puck. I mean, maybe with the body, but he clearly gets the puck with the stick. That's a tough call. And it's going to lead to another power play for the Hawks. Virginia penalty kill was really good the first time out. Didn't allow much. Another face-off won, though, by the Hawks. Sent back out to the clear side space. Far side shot. And it's redirected wide. Cleared all the way down to Bass. Going to retrieve this is Shane Wilson. It's like Wilson and Kuba, along with Ramarino and Carpenter. The speedy Carpenter with the puck now. Tried to pass this one through the slot. Back to the dot. In the slot. Quick shot. That one went wide. Not sure if he needed to make a save or not. Virginia with 6 shots. The Hawks with just 2. So St. Joseph's probably has some work to do here. They're going to make at least a partial change here. They're going to keep Ramarino out on the power play with 1:13 remaining. Up to Brazil. They call him Braz. Shot on. That one didn't get there cleanly. Still needed to make a save. Puck not cleared, and then redirected high over the net. Still not cleared. Ramarino, he's been good in this one. He was looking for the stick of Brazil, and it didn't go. Looking for that redirect. Braz is a big guy down there, and he plays a lot like an NHL player who carries his namesake, Justin Brazeau. Not exactly the same name, but they also call him Braz. So if you've earned the nickname Braz, you probably can play a little power forward on ice. Running low on time here, 27 seconds to go on this power play. Rimmed around. Ramarino is able to fish this one out. Back to the half wall. Just inside the dot, pass to the slot, and Braz couldn't get the shot away. Fires one more, and a huge block there. I believe Graham Wiggins was responsible for that one. Graham Wiggins had a couple of really good defensive shifts yesterday as this one leaves the zone. Tough mistake there for Cudahy, and it results in another penalty kill for UVA. So I know McMillan wasn't happy with that one, but the Virginia penalty kill does its job again. This one sent in to the zone by Lyman. Virginia trying to pinch there, couldn't quite keep it in the zone. Puck is loose in the neutral zone now for St. Joseph's. That one rimmed around by Fingerhut. Trey Fingerhut played sparingly in this tournament. Been used as a role player in their bottom six. Braz is expected to play more on the fourth line today. We just haven't seen a lot of 5-on-5 action, but that's because of the return of Gross for St. Joseph's. Big hit into the boards there and a couple of hits thrown, but that was a monster shot from Jack Michaud. No boarding call there. It was pretty close. Trying to get this out of the zone successfully. Zave Green is able to get it out weakly, and then a turnover in the neutral zone. We've got a call coming. On who, though? Looks like this time it's going to be the Hawks, though he's going to the wrong box. All right, they get that settled. Trevor Stimmel is in the box for St. Joseph's. Tell you what, there were a couple of potential plays there or moments there that looked like possible penalties, so I'm not sure what they got Stimmel for. We'll find out momentarily. Face-off in the offensive zone for the Cavaliers. They're going to boot Lyman out of the circle there. Holding on Stimmel. McMillan, gorgeous move there to Trubish. Now down below the goal line, shot on. Great save from Tyson. Back to McMillan at the point. McMillan sends into the slot. Fired on. Net was open for a second there. Puck didn't go. Tyson might have gotten a stick on the second one. Going to go back to McMillan here at the point. McMillan fires one on a seeing eye shot that doesn't go. Trubish at the half wall. Now down closer to the corner. Virginia trying to put something there. Not a lot of movement on this Virginia power play, though, at the moment. And they're able to keep this in. High effort play. And now a little development of 2-on-1. Great save from Tyson as he stops Coe's shot attempt. This one sent into empty space. And a nice effort there from Kyle Gross to get it down a little bit deeper. Oh, and then a really good effort coming in from Neil Cudahy to continue to milk some time off this clock. So far, the story of the first period has been these penalty kills. Though still 35 seconds to go on this one. Virginia has had two fantastic penalty kills, and now the Hawks of St. Joseph's having one of their own. Couple of great plays to milk some time here. This one back to the point. Now just outside the dot, firing one on, and Bass makes another good save. Zave Green couldn't connect. At the half wall, again, not a lot of movement here on this Virginia power play. Back to the point. Shot on. That one did not get through. Bass might have gotten a piece of it at the very end, but it was going wide nonetheless. Cleared out, and that is the end of the power play. So 3 successful penalty kills, 2 for Virginia, 1 now for St. Joseph's. Virginia outshooting the Hawks 9-3, but I will tell you, I'm not sure the shots are really indicative of how this one has looked so far. There have not been a lot of chances for either side that you would call high danger. Working at the corner and around the boards now, underneath the red line, coming back out towards the point. Going to send this one deep again. That one doesn't get there. Good effort there from Fingerhut. Then this is cleared down. Should be an icing, and it is. .5:43 remaining here, and I'm pretty sure we haven't had a media timeout because of the combination of shorthanded situations. They don't go to media timeouts after the shorthanded situations, and icings. All of our stoppages have been those 2 things. And then otherwise it's been relatively back and forth. Face-off won by the Hawks. This one sent back out by Carlos Rowland. Pass into space. Nobody is home, though, and Dylan Azzopardi, who scored yesterday twice in the win over Georgia Tech, sends it deep for Virginia. This one came free, and then a shot from distance gloved with ease by Bass. And the Graham Wiggins shot will take us to a media timeout. It is scoreless here in Winston-Salem. ACC HL Elite Finals, Virginia and St. Joseph's. We're back on the other side of this break here on AAU+. St. Joe's has not had as many opportunities as they have had, and they've not started as fast as they have at any point in this tournament. And credit to Virginia. I think when we saw action in the first round, the thought was this was for sure the matchup we wanted to see. And that became all the more true after yesterday's semifinal action. The Hawks moving with speed, dumping this one into the zone. McMillan giving chase for Virginia. Ooh, little tie up there. McMillan went down. Was one briefly, and then one back by McMillan, who flips this over. Virginia will move back the other direction. Here's McMillan. Or excuse me, not McMillan. Opportunity developing on a 2-on-1, and the pass doesn't connect. Jovi Green was trying to find Andrew Handelman, and it didn't go. Deep again. That did start with the McMillan play. A little subtle play to get the rush up ice. Now the puck is loose in front, and Billy Bass, they're trying to stuff this in still. He makes at least one really big save there. As the great Doc Emmerich would say, what chaos. You can see that last opportunity, Handelman was inches from potentially making this a 1-0 game for Virginia. Shot on, does not get through, but lands on Trubish's stick. He sends it around. Back towards Trubish, went over his head. Hawks can't quite clear the zone as it was Cristiano pinching. Little backhand pass through the slot doesn't go. Trubish again, down low, underneath, through the slot, nobody there. Stoner comes back to try and make the play. He'll send it around. So Virginia playing a bit of a cycle game here at the moment. And then this one sent out. Opportunity, foot race. Could be a 2-on-1 here. And into the slot, Ramarino, what a save. Second chance opportunity potentially. And that's the first of the day. Jackson Shanahan. The third man in, the trailer, and Shanahan has broken the deadlock. So you can see this is, by design, a foot race won by the Hawks. And of course, it's Carpenter, Ramarino, and Shanahan. That line has done such work for the Hawks here in this tournament, and it has given them a 1-0 lead, and I think we've got a penalty coming for interference. And once again, the Hawks are heading back to the power play at the worst possible time, worst possible time for Virginia, I should say, right after Virginia gave up that goal. Now it is, well, actually, we're going to get clarification here on who's in the box in just one moment. No nameplate there. Hawks win the face-off. So that is Connor Coe, wearing number 23 today. He wore number 22 the first two games of this tournament. And Coe got a 2-minute interference call, and he was not happy. But early chance there, 8 seconds in. Another face-off here as a result. Fired on, that didn't get through. Down low, the pass from Kuba. Sends it back out to Ramarino at the half wall. Ramarino working towards the corner. Puck went off the stick of a Hawk player and then eventually cleared by Virginia. No one has converted on a power play yet. That one goal, a beautiful pass into space, and really just a flip up and hoping that a foot race would be won by who else? Mr. Carpenter himself. And it was. This is cleared out of the zone. But otherwise, special teams has not gone anyone's way so far, except for the penalty killers. Speaking of which, a shorthanded opportunity brewing. That one didn't get on net. Back the other way goes Ramarino. He's guarded by McMillan. Down low for Kyle Gross. Oh, wow, a huge opportunity. I think Bass got enough of it. And now McMillan the other way. He'll flip one towards the net, and he's going off. Virginia, shorthanded opportunity. No, they're just going to peel off and try to milk more of this clock. We're down to 37 seconds on the power play, and 2 minutes to go here in the period. 1-0 St. Joseph's leads. So the Hawks had these wild starts. They outscored their opponents 8-1 in the first periods of the first two games of this tournament. Now it's 9-1. But obviously this is not quite the same as what they did just blitzing their first two opponents. Appalachian State, and yesterday jumping out to a 4-1 lead versus Elon. Penalty is over to Coe. Fired one on. Rebound came loose, and then on the rebound attempt, it flipped up too high. Someone got a stick in there for the Hawks. Turnover now in their defensive zone. They're going to send this one deep instead for Braz, who will give chase. Brazil couldn't quite come up with the puck. This is cleared out. And now going back forward is Shane Wilson. Wilson working just inside the dot, sends this to his defense partner. Sent all the way back the other way. Virginia's offside, so Peter Borman can reset. Borman, who's gotten on the score sheet in this tournament. Going to send a long pass up. I'm not sure anyone got a piece of that one. Yeah, that's an icing. as the first man there is Cristiano. This is going to be the tough part, and what was particularly impressive about Carpenter's assist is that he won a foot race against a Virginia defenseman, and these Virginia defensemen can fly. In particular, 88, 77, and 87 are the three you'll have to watch out for if you're a Hawks fan. For Virginia, obviously, though, their fans are now keeping a close eye on number 3, James Carpenter. His speed and skill is almost unrivaled in this division. Shanahan, who sent that one back around. The top line is out for the Hawks. A little defensive zone start. Or excuse me, it's a blended line because of the icing. Because Braz is still out there with Carpenter. So they probably want to get Ramarino out, I imagine, at some point. Loose puck picked up by Carpenter, and Carpenter has yet another goal in this tournament. He might have used a defender as a screen there, but the quick release has given the Hawks a 2-0 lead. A brutal time to give up a goal. 24 seconds remaining in the period. And I think that's exactly what he did. Carpenter used Cristiano as a screen. I think everybody in the ACC HL Elite Division will be happy to see Carpenter go, as St. Joseph's is set to get promoted next year to, and we can say this officially as the period comes to an end, but they are set to be promoted to the next level. And we have some post-whistle stuff happening around the Virginia blue line. Referees telling everybody, go to your rooms. Mom and referees, that's who can send you to your room. And St. Joseph's will be sending themselves to the ACCHL Premier League next year. They played a couple of those teams this season, including Rowan, who they played twice, got a couple of wins against Delaware and Ryder. We'll talk more about that coming up. Shot counter is 11-8, Virginia, but the score is 2-0. St. Joseph's will step aside. We'll have some intermission analysis coming up and much more. Maybe some highlights, too, for you here on AAU+. I'm Alex Wiederspiel, and we're back in just a moment. The battle for the Admirals Cup continues here, the ACCHL Elite Division. And St. Joseph's leads 2-0 after the first period over Virginia. And it's worth noting that period relatively evenly played. I don't think either party had a particular advantage over the other. But when it comes down to whose superstar played the best, there is no doubt it was James Carpenter for St. Joseph's, as his speed creates that first goal. This is a brilliant pass up the ice, by the way, and knowing that Carpenter has all this room, he goes up and gets the puck, makes this first pass to Ramarino. The shot doesn't go, and then trying to clear, can't get it done. Jackson Shanahan will score the goal. I don't know if they credited Carpenter with the assist there because of the attempted clear. Regardless, he starts that whole play, and that makes it 1-0 with Shanahan's goal. The second goal, though, that one does belong to Mr. Carpenter, and again, look at the speed. Carpenter with a quick little stick move to get the puck out. Puck is tied up in the legs of Brazil and another player, and then he uses the defenseman to screen the goalie. A brilliant shot from Carpenter, and it is 2-0. The Hawks on top as a result. St. Joseph's leading Virginia here after one. We're going to go ahead and take another break. Come back, we'll have more analysis, and we'll get to the second period shortly here on AAU Plus.
Welcome to Jacksonville, or as we like to call it, Jax. As Florida's youngest city, Jacksonville is the destination that you'll leave feeling refreshed. Here, you'll experience a different kind of Florida, one that's rich with arts, culture, and history, exciting outdoor adventures, thrilling sporting events, and a mouth-watering dining scene, all at a more laid-back pace. If you love the outdoors, you've come to the right place. Here you can soak in vitamin D and fresh air while exploring our relaxing beaches, local and national parks, and breathtaking waterways. Stroll on 22 miles of white sand beaches. Test your balance on a surfboard or paddleboard. Take the kayak out, reel in a fresh catch, or cruise around in the water taxi, admiring the picturesque views from the St. Johns River. When you've had enough fun in the sun, stop by any of our local restaurants or breweries to get a true taste of Jax. Our local chefs take farm to table very seriously, sourcing local and fresh ingredients to create menus that are iconic to Jax, like Mayport shrimp, caught fresh off our coast daily and prepared differently on menus throughout the city. Wash it all down with a pint of local craft beer from one of 20-plus stops along the Jax Ale Trail. As a melting pot of many diverse cultures and races, Jacksonville is proud of its vast heritage, dating back over 6,000 years. Visit historical areas, tour world-class museums, and take in the thriving performance art scene. Immerse yourself in our culture by exploring more than a dozen neighborhoods that make up Jax, each with a unique vibe, colorful public art, exciting festivals and markets, and talented makers. Jax has just what you need to fuel your fandom. With 6 professional sports teams, numerous surfing and fishing competitions, world-renowned running races, and 2 signature college football games, there's year-round sports excitement to fuel your competitive juices. Do what you love or try something new. Head to visitjacksonville.com to learn more.
You can go wild on the flip side. Unplug and unwind in Jax.
we weren't sure they were going to have anything to cheer about in that first period, but Hawks fans got up and rowdy after 2 goals from St. Joseph's, and I will have to get clarification on the first goal if they awarded an assist to either of the players involved there, Carpenter or Ramarino, since there was a failed clear there. I didn't catch if they actually awarded it or not. Shanahan got the goal to give St. Joe's the lead, and then a brilliant play from William Carpenter to use the very talented Ryan Cristiano as a screen and go low. And that worked well, beating Billy Bash twice in the waning moments of that first period. 24 seconds left when that final goal was scored. And the goal here, if you're Virginia, you cannot let that goal late in the first period beat you twice. You got to come out understanding that the job now is even harder. And certainly the way UVA has played in this tournament, we knew this would be the toughest test for them, and vice versa for St. Joseph's. But the basic analysis in that first period is a relatively evenly played first, but the Hawks superstars just a little better than the Cavs superstars. These are 2 teams with elite skating players on their team. Cristiano, Stoner, and McMillan on the back end for Virginia. They play more of a back-end out style from their blue line. St. Joseph's, talented as they are on the blue line, it really starts with that first line, really that whole top 6, especially with the return of Kyle Gross to that second line, along with Kuba and Cudahy. And Virginia will start with Hunter Carlson out, and the face-off won by St. Joseph's. It was Michaud playing with Carlson and Green, and it looks like that is how they've decided to set up this first line. Originally, they talked about the possibility of playing Danny Western on the top line, but looks like they're going with Carlson here. Free puck comes loose, and now the Hawks trying to come away with an opportunity here. Peter Borman just sent it deep. Wasn't really much else to do. From the half wall, trying to get this up. Borman got the puck back and shot it, and it hit Cristiano, who I think happy to get in the way of that one. Still possessed by the Hawks. And then in front, a shot that goes and flips over the net. Man, I think Carpenter had Bass dead to rights. I'm guessing that puck edged up on him. How good has James Carpenter been? This guy, if this score winds up holding, see this again here in just a moment, seems very likely he's going to have, you know what, he just gets a little bit under it and elevates it. But I'll tell you what, he is very likely the tournament MVP, either 7 or 8 points. We'll find out again about that first goal, whether or not he got credited with an assist or not. But he has been brilliant, but I don't know if anything's been more brilliant than this first period, that first period from him. And then nearly put another one in the second. As Bass has to make another save, and Virginia is back going the other way. Trying to play some long ball, and McMillan, not happy with that one either. And he plays with some fire, I'll tell you what. McMillan is probably, I would actually enjoy seeing a skating foot race between McMillan and Carpenter. I hope we get a chance at that some point in this game, because those 2 guys can absolutely fly up the ice. But McMillan thought he broke up the icing. Not the case here. Quick shot on off the face-off win. That doesn't go all the way back to Maratea for the Hawks. He sent it back into the corner. Virginia working from the dot. They're going to be able to get this one out. And no icing coming here. Though working back to get it. Ooh, and losing an edge. Maratea went down. Now Virginia with possession as a result. Quick shot. That one rolled through the crease. Tyson did have to make a first save. Had he been tasked with making a second, that would have been difficult. McMillan got this one over an opportunity for Kaplan. So we did get confirmation. Kaplan is dressed for this one. Peter Kaplan had not dressed all tournament. He is dressed today for Virginia. There have been a number of numeric changes for the Cavaliers as a result of that. Max Lyman with it, sends it back around for Virginia. Davis Jones going to play it in the corner. Davis Jones has worn 3 different numbers on 3 different days in this tournament. He's wearing number 2 today. That one gets past Adam Trubish. Coming up with that puck was Aiden Linso, and it comes out of the zone, sent back in by St. Joseph's. Working from below the goal line, lost the handle on it, came loose and squirted free in the slot. Nobody was home, and Virginia trying to move with some speed here. Opportunity for Lyman. He couldn't do anything with it. Back to Trubish, and Virginia will see if they can set up another rush up ice here. They're a little quagmired, so going to send this deep instead. Tracking back into the corner. Jones goes down as he ran into Carlos Rowland. Puck off a couple of different skates, and now a potential 2-on-1 brewing here. Fired on and wide. Tried to go far side, and Braz was close, but wasn't close enough to attempt a rebound here. A quick shot from Virginia. That was blocked. And then a redirection flies over to the netminder. Virginia able to pick up possession here at the blue line. It's Wiggins. And nothing for the Cavaliers there. I think the most interesting thing about this has been, I don't think Virginia's been bad defensively in this game. Still pretty solid. They are having a difficult time creating offense at the moment. And that was not the case early, as now Braz is giving chase to this puck deep. Bottom 6 for St. Joseph's just looks so much deeper now with Gross back in the lineup. From the blue line, that one actually gets through, and then a shot through the crease. Someone might have gotten a stick on the attempt. It was Zane O'Rourke. He's actually had a couple of moments where if he's a half second faster in getting a shot off, he might have a goal or 2 in this one. It's a nifty little move there, and Virginia rushed through the zone. Out of the neutral zone into Hawks zone. First shot was saved, hit thrown in the corner. So that Zave Green rush up ice will ultimately end without much there. McMillan forces a turnover here, fires one, and gloved with ease by Tyson. And what positioning there for Cooper Tyson, making that one look easy. McMillan has made a couple of teams in this tournament look foolish. But Tyson read it all the way. Yeah, he barely moved. High one off the glass, and I believe that wound up landing in the penalty box. So we'll stop play, do this all over again. Yeah, that's exactly where it landed, in the Virginia penalty box. That was a hot spot in the first period, not so much here of late. We've had no calls in the first 4 minutes and change of this second period, as faceoff man is thrown out. One back to McMillan for Virginia. McMillan looking for a lane, decides to send this towards the corner. Giving chase on that one was Jack Michaud. He couldn't get to it. Now it's loose. McMillan couldn't quite get to it. McMillan, great play coming back. Not sure if a shot actually got off there. McMillan seemed to erase it. Sent back the other way, and going deep to get this puck is Graham Haberl, the sophomore defenseman who is wearing number 14 today. He's wearing 15 to start this tournament. And we'll get an icing here against Virginia. No goals yet here in the second period. Virginia and Kyle Sinat trying to figure out how to solve this St. Joseph's team, particularly in the neutral zone. And kudos to St. Joseph's, the way they're playing in this one. They've played a lot of hockey this year, mind you. The way St. Joseph's is playing in this one, almost stylistically a little differently than both the first 2 games, as they have done a much better job, I think, in the neutral zone. Puck is loose, opportunity in the slot. Excellent play there, sticked away by Michaud, who swept it into the corner. Fired from distance, and Billy Bass is able to make the save on the shot from Fingerhut. One of these teams is ready to dream on. Though worth noting, St. Joseph's has already accepted an invite into the AAU tournament coming up. So they should be down in Jacksonville next month. Quick turnaround shot from the high slot. That one again gloved by Bass. Never got off the ice. And in the meantime, this is likely to be Virginia's last game either way. If they win it, I do believe they would have a chance at a potential auto bid into the ACHA, but not sure if that is the plan or not for Virginia. This will be an icing here. And so the Hawks will get another offensive zone faceoff. Meanwhile, for St. Joseph's, next season they move up into the Premier Division. And for this squad led by Shane Wilson, the captain, Dean Keeney, the head coach, they'll get a chance to regularly compete against teams like Rowan and Virginia Tech and Maryland, who we saw last week in a brilliant tournament here. Really just a ton of fun. The Premier Tournament was bananas. There were overtimes, there were upsets. Battle going on in the corner here. Virginia Tech earned the auto bid from that one, beating a very young Maryland team in the process. Another one didn't get through. Then a player lost an edge, but no one was home for the Hawks to put that away. Working at the half wall now for Virginia. Big hit there. Handelman went down. Puck is loose. This could be trouble now, and they'll finally be able to get this. There we go. Able to get it away. I got ahead of it. I was a little ahead of it. Danny Western kicked it out of the zone. We'll get a line change for both these teams. Virginia, this is their biggest test of the season. Certainly the biggest test of this tournament. Virginia also played Maryland earlier this season, actually split with the Terrapins. Face-off coming out to the neutral zone now. The Hawks player goes down, and Virginia is able to get this deep as a result. See if they can establish any forecheck presence. It has been tough for Virginia just to exit the zone in this second period. St. Joseph's, a lot of motivation for this one. This is fired on net, redirected, really good save there from Bass. So difficult on a redirection, and Bass was ready for it. In the slot, opportunity wide of the net. Giving chase, defenseman goes down for Virginia. That was, I think that was actually Jack Michaud, who went down. No, it was Stoner, 77, not 17. Virginia rush is erased and now sent into the offensive zone, giving chase. Here come the Hawks. They go for a quick change, but one man up ice. Kept that in for a little while, allowing St. Joe's to make all the necessary changes they needed. Charlie Maratea with it, sends it up. Puck is intercepted. Virginia, possible opportunity. Great stick tie up there. Oh, and then no call, but a gorgeous play from St. Joe's Charlie Maratea again. He made the stick check that stopped Virginia from getting a potential high-danger shot. Here's McMillan now firing one up. Long pass. That one goes up for Kaplan. Inside and underneath the goal line. Working. Another good stick check there. Battling in the corner still. Who will come away with this? Looks like Virginia. And immediately losing it was Aiden Chong. Still not getting it out of the zone, though. McMillan with an opportunity. He makes a great move. Lost the puck. It is still loose. And now the Hawks going back with it the other way. Great poke check. Keeps it in for Virginia. And then a brilliant blocked shot. Maratea, what a shift he is having. And he is laboring after that one. But Maratea has been brilliant on this shift for the Hawks. Big hit thrown there by James Carpenter, of all people. Well, good to know he's got that in his repertoire. Virginia, this is maybe their best shift of the day. Over to the dot, fired on, didn't get all of that one. Neither did Tyson for that matter, but he got enough of it. Then a big hit at center ice. Thrown by Davis Jones on Ramarino. Shot on, and I don't know if Bass got any piece of that. Hit into the corner, trying to give chase, and they'll send the puck out. Pressure from Hunter Carlson was not an issue, but fans really liked that hit from Davis Jones, trying to wake the UVA team up as they trail 2-0 midway through this one. Not a ton of stops here in the second period. And no penalties yet after we had a parade to the box in the first. Carlson can't do anything with it, loses the puck, and now the Hawks will take it out cleanly, going the other way. They did not hold the line. And that'll take us to immediate timeout, as Jackson Shanahan had crossed a little too early. We'll be back midway through this game and this period. 2-0. St. Joseph scoreless, though, in the second on AAU+.
On the flip side, we're always cooking up something good. Sink your teeth into Jax.
Back here in Winston-Salem, Alex Wiederspiel with you on AAU+. Thanks for joining us all weekend. We do appreciate all the fans, whether you were watching for the SEC and have since seen a champion crowned there as South Carolina took down Tennessee, or whether you're here with us now for the ACC Elite, Virginia and St. Joseph's. We're going to get no icing call here. A dangerous shot on, and Virginia nearly got there first. One big save for Bass. It got behind him, and now Virginia with the puck. Wow, that is shocking. Shot on. Bass makes a big save there. Another one for Bass, and we've got a delayed call coming. So I wonder... I also thought it was icing, but we do have a penalty coming against the Hawks, so Virginia's headed to the power play. I wonder if the penalty occurred and that caused what they thought was an icing. Either way, it is all academic now because St. Joe's is going to the box. They got Carlos Rowland. Peter Kaplan will take the faceoff and win it for Virginia. Back to Cristiano. Trubish working from the half wall here. Oh, great pass through the legs of Carpenter. Stoner back to Trubish at the point. And a block shot there. And I believe that was Carpenter. Carpenter trying to make a move on Stoner. That one got to the net. Shorthanded opportunity, but no one ever got a shot off. How about James Carpenter on the penalty kill? You want to talk about a complete player right now, I think you got to mention what Carpenter has done in this tournament. He's a dynamite offensive player, plays on the power play, and now he's getting PK time as well, and he just nearly created a shorthanded opportunity. And he blocked a shot to do it. Virginia working now from the far side point. Back to the top of the point. This is Stoner. High slot, back to the half wall, shot on. That one went wide, and the rebound's going to come all the way out as it caromed off the corner boards down. So Stoner has to go back and get it. Tell you, it's been a terrific tournament for Joshua Stoner, the defenseman for Virginia, the captain of this team. would be a tough way for it to end if they can't at least get on the board. Now, still early in this one, but we are more than halfway through regulation hockey. Firing one on. That one whizzes just past the head of the goaltender, Tyson. Coming back out. Play made at the point, back to the half wall. Here's McMillan. He's been fun to watch this whole tournament. They go back to him. McMillan firing one on. They're trying to go for the redirection, and at least one save made. Virginia still with possession, though. Back out, opportunity for Haberl. He'll go to McMillan, fires one on. Oh, a seeing eye that doesn't get through, and another one off the side of the net. Zave Green had an open look, and he hit the side of the net. Power play is over. Excellent penalty kill, but Virginia definitely made them sweat a little bit at moments in the back half of it. Since the McMillan unit got out, they're still putting some pressure on here. Just no man advantage. Green, backhanded pass in front, and flipped out of the zone, and giving chase is Rowland. Rowland, good edge work there to pull up. Leaves this and goes and makes a change. Bass makes a save there on a shot from distance by Samuel Resto. We haven't seen a lot of Resto today. Pass comes back out into the slot all the way to the point. Over to Davis Jones. Laid a pretty big hit earlier, and he gets some of it right back to him from Resto. And it looks like we've got a hand pass call here coming against St. Joseph's, so the faceoff will come back into their zone. Virginia, maybe a little bailout there as well. Cavaliers have work to do. That, though, that power play felt like their best offensive zone time of this game, including previous power plays. Their chance to try and beat Cooper Tyson. Get another opportunity here as Wiggins wins the faceoff. Shot on it. Man, Tyson has been perfect. Davis Jones tried to fire through traffic. A couple of sticks were out there trying to get a redirection. Nobody got a piece of it, and Tyson makes the save. So we'll do this all over again. And Wiggins wins the faceoff again, but better play there on the 50-50 puck. Firing that one on is Linzo wide of the net, and he also took a pretty big lick at the end of the play. And then another hit down low beneath the goal of Virginia. Some pushing and shoving now. See if we have a penalty call on the play. We might. I haven't seen an arm up. They might just decide that this is regrettable misadventure. And that is indeed the case here. Pretty big hit laid down there. And then for Virginia, Connor Coe laid a pretty good lick on Sam Resto. And Resto, of course, laid a pretty good lick on Davis Jones. So physical shift there from these two. Offensive zone face-off for the Hawks, but it's won by Virginia. Still not exiting the zone, though. And now the Hawks have it. Picking this one back up to the slot, or excuse me, to the point. It was fired on and gloved. So after Bass swallows it, we get another offensive zone face-off. 6:05 to go here. 2-0 the lead for the Hawks over the Cavaliers right now. And boy, a third, with the way St. Joseph's has played defensively, a third might feel insurmountable, but we also saw yesterday, boy, leads are not safe on this ice. South Carolina and Georgia. Georgia nearly came back from down 4-0. Ultimately lost 5-3, but they scored 3 unanswered and had a real chance. And we saw it with St. Joseph's. They were up 4-1, and the wheels kind of fell off to the point where they had to pull their netminder and haven't looked back. Bass has not allowed a goal since the first shot he faced yesterday. And he stopped all 20 he's faced today, of course. Some neutral zone action here. Lyman, that one on for... Sorry, I said Bass, meant Tyson. Cooper Tyson, who has stopped all 20 shots he has faced. At the half wall, Trubish will send this one around the board. Back to the other half wall, and the Hawks are able to at least get this out. Virginia will give chase. It's Alex McMillan. And again, look at the smooth skating McMillan. Great move from out to in. McMillan firing one on, and getting a piece of it was Tyson. Good pinch in there for Virginia. That'll keep this in play. Now working from the half wall. Fired on by Green, and Virginia's on the board. I'm pretty sure Zave Green used a screen in front, and the Cavaliers have cut the deficit to 1. When you're struggling with a netminder who's got your number, you got to get guys in front. You got to impact his eyesight. We'll see on the replay in just a moment. Sure looked like that one is not a shot he saw cleanly. Whether by one of his own players, yeah, I got to tell you, I think it's possible that Kyle Gross, it might be the guilty party there for St. Joseph's, but there were a couple of players there for the Hawks, and Zave Green just decided, hey, there's traffic there, let's give it a shot, and it's a seeing eye shot to make this a 2-1 game late in the second. 4.5 minutes to go, and then an icing on the Cavaliers almost immediately. So let's see what the Hawks have in their repertoire to attempt a response here. They're going to send Kyle Gross here in his first game of the tournament back off a suspension on the faceoff here for the Hawks. And Gross able to win it. Hawks tied up at the half wall. Puck flips down below the red line. A check removes the player from the puck, but then going back to get it one more time, that was Dylan Kuba. Then a big hit into the boards, but the puck comes free anyway, and we have a penalty coming. They've got St. Joseph's, and I think this is going to be for boarding. So Cudahy is going to the box. Anchored their second line as the center through this tournament. Power play for Virginia, and they have a chance to tie this game. Face-off immediately won and cleared. Bass will make the play. Here come the Cavaliers. They've gained entry to the zone. Flipped around by Trubish. They are cycling below the goal line. Back out to the point. Here's Stoner. Trubish in the corner. Back to Stoner. He's at the point. Stoner wants to go to the dot. A little bit off the mark, but Kaplan is there. Back to Kaplan now. Kaplan wanted to fire one on. He was looking for a stick for a backdoor redirect, and well played by the Hawks as they clear this out of the zone. Stoner whiffs on an attempted pass. He's able to get it back, though, and send it around the boards. Good second effort from him. Zave Green, who has the lone goal. Hands that one back off. They get this over to Stoner. Stoner fires one. That does not get through, and the block, Peter Borman. Excellent PK so far for the Hawks. Long pass up, and it's Green, and all of a sudden they have numbers. Green fires, and a big save from Tyson. That was a 3-on-1 surreptitiously. Still an opportunity for Virginia, though. The puck has not been cleared. Green one more time. Tried firing it from the same spot as he scored the goal from, and didn't quite get it through. And then a great stick effort there from Virginia to avoid a shorthanded opportunity as Resto looked like he wanted to go. Now off the rush, shot into the chest, good save there, and cleared back out. Tyson, the only goal he gave up, I'm not sure he saw it. Otherwise, he's been good in this one. 24 of 25, he has stopped. Shot from distance is not going to get to the net. Someone got a piece of it wearing a white jersey. Hawks in white with the maroon trim and gray numerals. Cavaliers able to keep this one in. It's Green, way to dance the line. Fires one, and Zave Green has his second. as they would say in basketball, from way downtown. Oh, man, Tyson has had a great day. I don't know about that one. We're going to have to see it again. If he saw this one cleanly, I'm not sure, but that's definitely one from distance, and I didn't see a redirect. The whole bench giving Zave Green props there. There's a little bit of traffic there, but that's a tough one for Tyson for sure. Zave Green with 2 goals, and Virginia's back in it. We're tied at 2. And another opportunity, and a quick one the other way. 2 saves made by Tyson. Comes back out in front, and the Hawks will have some work to do here. Excellent physical play here. Who else? It's Carpenter. Carpenter fires. Big save from Billy Bass. Oh, man, and he gives a pretty good fist pump after that one. Bass knows how big that one was. Carpenter has been electric. Down to the final minute here of the period. It is 2-2. Late goals from Zave Green of Virginia. And we're going to have a stoppage here. Looked like the puck was underneath a player. Give a chance for everybody to get a change. Man, Virginia looked lifeless for the first half of this period. But slowly but surely, they worked their way back into it. And Zave Green with 2 big goals. Now the Hawks, to their credit, when they faced adversity, when it was tied at 4, they scored pretty quickly to make it 5-4 in yesterday's win. And we're going to get a penalty coming up. Virginia is going to either end on a power play or a 6-on-5 here. And this will lead to an abbreviated power play. 36.8 seconds to go. That's a tough one for the Hawks. Offensive zone call. And that's going to send the man they call Braz to the box. Michael Brazel. I think they got him for a hook. He heads to the box for 2. Tough period for the Hawks. Big period for UVA. And able to keep that one in. Excellent play from Cristiano. It's called tripping officially, excuse me. Into the slot, fired on, and the puck trickles through. 3-2. Adam Trubish. Power play goal for Virginia. 20 seconds to go in the period, and the Hawks fans are stunned here. Virginia, 3 unanswered. So the Cavs get their first power play goal. What's wild is, looked like he had made the save initially, and Tyson just can't close it down. Look at this. He makes the save, and then it just squirts through. Final seconds here of this period, and we have another penalty call coming here. And I think this one's against Virginia now with 4 seconds to go. Physical championship game here. Stoner's headed to the box. And looks like they got him for a boarding call. It's right on the edge. 4 seconds left, and now the Hawks go to the power play, and if they don't score in the next 4 seconds, they'll have almost a full power play in the second period. One, fired back in front, didn't get through. Carpenter had the look, but there was too much traffic in front. So, how about this for intrigue? Virginia scores 3 unanswered goals, all in the back half of the second period. 2 from Zave Green, 1 from Adam Trubish. And then seconds after that power play goal to go up 3-2, quite literally 15 seconds later, the Hawks go on the power play, and now they will return from the intermission with the man advantage. Though, worth noting, by the way, there is a Virginia player down on the ice at the moment, having a hard time getting up. I wonder if it's who blocked the shot. That was Davis Jones. Right at the end of the period, Carpenter let one rip. I don't know if Jones is the one who blocked it or not, but he was having a hard time getting off the ice. I don't know if we have a camera angle, that anyone saw what happened there, but we can look into it. We'll step aside for now. 3-2 Virginia over St. Joseph's here in the second intermission. 2 goals in the first for the Hawks, 3 goals in the second for the Cavaliers. We've got a finish coming in the third period as the Hawks will start on the power play. We'll step aside for a moment, come back with some analysis and more next here on AAU Plus. Well, if the story of the first period here was the play of James Carpenter, the second period, we're going to be talking about Zave Green. The Virginia Cavaliers score 3 goals over 3 minutes and 29 seconds to take out the final moments of this period. Now, St. Joseph's is on a power play to start the third, but they'll be doing it trailing thanks to these goals we're about to show you from the Virginia Cavaliers. It took just 3 minutes and 29 seconds for Virginia to erase what had been a deficit for the entirety of the game, thanks to a collection of goals, 2 from Zave Green and 1 from Adam Trubish. Zave Green scored twice from distance, and Adam Trubish with a power play goal. The question now, I guess, going into this third period, whose superstars will win the third? And you can see here, so Zave Green, this is from behind the net. Zave Green scores, and a little bit of traffic there in front as he chooses to fire that one. He would score another one just moments later. And it is 3-2 as a result. We'll step aside. It is a 1-goal game in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, here on AAU+.
Welcome to Jacksonville, or as we like to call it, Jax. As Florida's youngest city, Jacksonville is the destination that you'll leave feeling refreshed. Here, you'll experience a different kind of Florida, one that's rich with arts, culture, and history, exciting outdoor adventures, thrilling sporting events, and a mouth-watering dining scene, all at a more laid-back pace. If you love the outdoors, you've come to the right place. Here you can soak in vitamin D and fresh air while exploring our relaxing beaches, local and national parks, and breathtaking waterways. Stroll on 22 miles of white sand beaches. Test your balance on a surfboard or paddleboard. Take the kayak out, reel in a fresh catch, or cruise around in the water taxi, admiring the picturesque views from the St. Johns River. When you've had enough fun in the sun, stop by any of our local restaurants or breweries to get a true taste of Jax. Our local chefs take farm to table very seriously, sourcing local and fresh ingredients to create menus that are iconic to Jax, like Mayport shrimp, caught fresh off our coast daily and prepared differently on menus throughout the city. Wash it all down with a pint of local craft beer from one of 20-plus stops along the Jax Ale Trail. As a melting pot of many diverse cultures and races, Jacksonville is proud of its vast heritage, dating back over 6,000 years. Visit historical areas, tour world-class museums, and take in the thriving performance art scene. Immerse yourself in our culture by exploring more than a dozen neighborhoods that make up Jax, each with a unique vibe, colorful public art, exciting festivals and markets, and talented makers. Jax has just what you need to fuel your fandom. With 6 professional sports teams, numerous surfing and fishing competitions, world-renowned running races, and 2 signature college football games, there's year-round sports excitement to fuel your competitive juices. Do what you love or try something new. Head to visitjacksonville.com to learn more.
Greetings from Jacksonville, the flip side of Florida. Around here, something special is always brewing. Tap into our thriving beer scene and hit the ale trail to enjoy craft beers from over 25 local breweries. So hop on by, pull up a chair, and raise a glass to the flip side. On the flip side, anything is possible, except running out of delicious beer. Learn more at visitjacksonville.com.
You can go wild on the flip side. Unplug and unwind in Jax.
Are you ready for it? Virginia, St. Joseph's, huge third period coming here. 3-2, the Hawks trail the Cavaliers. After 3 unanswered Virginia goals, Billy Bass has been terrific here since he let in a couple late in the first period. He had a big second. Now, similarly, St. Joseph's, they need Cooper Tyson to find his game. He had essentially played 4 periods of shutout hockey and then allowed 3 goals in 3.5 minutes. And they are going back to him. They are not going to Bryce Sullivan, who started the first game and the second game, but was pulled after allowing the third goal of that second game in the win over Elon. It's 20 minutes of digging deep here for either side. Virginia playing with a lead is a frightening prospect for anyone. They have been as defensively sound as seemingly anyone in this tournament. But nobody moves like the Hawks move. Even Virginia, who has a brilliant blue line with guys who can skate like elite skaters. But the Hawks will start on the power play after that late boarding call on the captain Stoner. Again, bit of a borderline call. But 50-50 calls, you have to trust the referee's going to make a decision one way or another. Here's Carpenter with speed. James Carpenter. Probably your tournament MVP if the Hawks are able to come from behind and win this thing. He was in on both first period goals. Hawks having a hard time establishing the zone right now as McMillan rides a Hawk player into the board, and McMillan's going back to the box. It'll be his second trip, and he's not happy. And I don't think I've seen McMillan happy at any point, whether it be a penalty or an icing. And I didn't see who went into the boards there. Believe it was Dylan Kuba who got ridden into the boards. I'm curious to see what they actually call here, but this will be a 5-on-3 now for 1 minute and 12 seconds. Face-off one back to Shane Wilson. Wilson back to Kluba. Hooking is the official call. Ramarino back to the point, now back to Ramarino. He's just outside the dot, fires one on, that doesn't get through. 5-on-3, Virginia. Oh, nearly a great play there from Hunter Carlson to get that out of the zone. Hawks recover though. Here's Ramarino, quick pass over, firing one on, glove save, and it makes a second save with his pads off the rebound. 5-on-3 has 33 seconds left. Ramarino to the far side. Diving play, essentially a 5-on-2 now at the dot, firing one on, that one was wide. Ramarino working from the logo. Back to Ramarino at the point, 18 seconds to go. He fires one high, puck is loose, can't get that one. Carpenter has it now. No, correction, Carpenter's at the point. This one fired on again, likely Wilson who had it there. And Virginia not quite able to clear it. They get it out, and that'll be the end of the 5-on-3. 48 seconds left of power play time. Couple of grade A chances, but Billy Bass is up to the task. Crossing in was Brazil. Little hit there, and Virginia looks like they're going to be able to clear this out of the zone, and they do. And then pulling back for the Cavaliers is Zave Green, the hero of the second period. 2 goals for him, 1 for Trubish. Right now, Trubish's goal would stand up as the game winner. But Zave Green, 2 goals in this game, absolutely enormous. Brazil, little stick handling nifty for the big man. Back to Brazil. Final seconds of this power play. A soft shot doesn't go, and McMillan's back on the ice. So a 1 minute and 12 second 5-on-3, and they don't get a goal at the 5-on-3 or the 5-on-4. Virginia survives that. Puck is loose in the slot. No shot. And a hit there underneath behind the goal line. Puck comes free, and the Hawks will skate free. Here's Brazil. Playing with Fingerhut. This is the 4th line out for St. Joseph's. Now with speed, here comes Cristiano. A power move into the corner. Cristiano sends into the slot. Puck is loose, trying to stuff one in. One save made by the netminder, Tyson, but another one from distance. Got it with the pad. Back around the boards. Virginia's going to go for a change here. Nice move by Stoner to get back to the puck. Sent it back around. And Virginia, good cycle work here. Looks like the Hawks are finally going to be able to clear this thing. They go cross ice and gaining the red line. Fingerhut sends it deep. Trubish leaves that back for Andrew Handelman. Sent all the way down, and now the Hawks moving back the other way with it. Ramarino and a whistle coming. Like they got into the zone early. So face-off coming in the neutral zone. And we'll get a change here. The Virginia pairing. It's like Handelman heading back to the box. Kaplan, or heading back to the bench, excuse me. Kaplan also went to the bench there. So now this is the As-a-Party line that's out. He scored twice yesterday, As-a-Party and Chong. The pass was intended for As-a-Party, and Ramarino sent it deep. Got to think there's nothing to save it for if you're St. Joseph's or Virginia at this point. Going to see a lot of minutes from their best players, and the Hawks' top line is right back out, but a lot of space here for As-a-Party to skate. As-a-Party working against the defenseman, shot on, and a good save there from Cooper Tyson. Virginia still with an opportunity, pocket picked and sent away by Peter Borman. Ramarino trying to spin off a player to bring the puck in. Graham Haberl had other thoughts. Into the corner, and back around to Borman. He just needs to get a piece of it and gets it out of the zone. Oh, at center ice, that's a big deflection. Opportunity developing. No, back pass was to a Virginia player. See if the Hawks can establish the zone, though. They kept it in. Shot on and swallowed by Bass. We've had an eventful first 5 minutes and 19 seconds. No goals, but a lot of shots. A lot of chances here. Virginia up 28-20 in the shot counter, but in terms of high-quality stuff, it's been about even. Cristiano working from the half wall will get this up and out of the zone. Working across the red line. Here's Cristiano now just outside the dot. Tried a shot that got blocked. Didn't get through. Hawks are going to try to clear this one. It will not go. Back and forth, they're trading this one, and finally got that out of the zone for Dylan Kuba. Immediately sent all the way back in, but Virginia's going for a change. This is where that extra added depth, having Gross on the second line, if you're St. Joseph's, you're hoping is going to pay dividends here. And certainly, maybe in a 7-game series, it would. Now it's got to happen instantly. Little drop pass here. Opportunity developing to the net. Tried for a shot there from a bad angle. Not sure it ever got to the net. Virginia has some time, space, and numbers, and then a big erasure there. Looked like Brazil laid low the Virginia player. Looked like Handelman. Now some space. Trying to get that to the net, but lost it. That was Zane O'Rourke. Had a couple of really good shifts in this one. One of my colleagues in a different broadcasting job of mine for basketball always talks about being a star in your role. I don't think any sport has ever been more accurate for that sentiment than this one in hockey. You know, we talk about Zane O'Rourke, we talk about Zave Green. None of these guys are the top line players that you think. Now, Green does play on Virginia's top line, but it's worth noting when we think about this Virginia team, a lot of it runs through their blue line, right? Or Michaud, or Carlson, but obviously Green, an excellent player in his own right. Similar with Carpenter. This one fired on after the face-off offensive zone won by the Hawks. But being a star in your role, you get a guy like O'Rourke who's had a couple of really good shifts. Could that mean something later? Guy like Trubish had a couple of really good shifts. He has right now what stands as the game-winning goal. Tyson went around and sent that into the corner, and then this flipped up out. Likely an icing here unless the Hawks can win this race, and they cannot. As Ryan Mann's giving chase. Mann's, Resto, and Linzo for the Hawks. Looks like Virginia's going to keep their line out. The As a Party line with Graham Wiggins. Wiggins, who had a huge deflection yesterday to get his stick on what looked like was certainly going to be a goal. This one thrown in front, and at least one save made by Bass. They couldn't get a second opportunity off the rebound. And Virginia's offside. As a Party got in too quickly. Winston-Salem has been the site of some tremendous hockey for the last 2 weekends here. ACC Premier Tournament a weekend ago, won by Virginia Tech over Maryland. ACC Elite Tournament now, and of course the SEC, the winner, South Carolina, earlier in the day, beating Tennessee 4-3. Here's Carpenter. Carpenter tried to make a move, and way to stay with him. That was Cristiano. And then a big hit thrown by Virginia's Jack Michaud. Puck still in possession of the Hawks. And little bump in the zone meant no shot got off, but this stays in, fired, shot was blocked, and finally out of the zone. Looked like a great opportunity developing for the Hawks, but they couldn't get the shot through traffic. Back to Ramarino. He's dangerous from distance, but that is gloved by Bass and will lead us to immediate timeout. It is 3-2 Virginia over St. Joe's right now. Worth noting, though, all the action has come in the back half of each period, so don't go anywhere, because these teams like me, they like to procrastinate and leave it for the end. We'll be back in just a moment here on AAU Plus. Battle for the Admirals Cup continues here midway through the third period. Shot on, and it's St. Joseph's looking for the equalizer here. They led 2-0 after one, and Virginia was still down 2-0 late in the second. 3 goals over a span of 3 minutes and 29 seconds. Got the Cavaliers in front. 3-2 they lead now as we are, closing in on the midway point of this third period. And Virginia wins the face-off here. One way or another, exciting for St. Joe's. They are moving on to the AAU tournament. This one into the slot, and Virginia able to get this away. Back up towards the neutral zone. Going back and chasing is Peter Borman. Had a strong tournament. But they're moving up to the ACC Premier League next year. They're moving on to the AAU later, but the most important thing now is trying to get this one win, really this next goal, and nearly got it there. Bass had some trouble with it, and it looked like it was dangerous for a moment. Virginia able to get it away. Good tie up there, and St. Joseph's is able to clear for a moment. entering with some speed in the slot and a whiff there. Trubish had a great look but didn't get enough of it. Now the other side, some open ice here for Virginia into the slot and another whiff there. Man, the Cavaliers have had multiple chances on this shift, and that was Max Lyman who couldn't get it to go. Now with some speed, here comes the Hawks just for a moment. Back the other way, it's McMillan. Alex McMillan, who has been electric for Virginia this entire tournament. Cross-ice pass, it looks like he's going for space, and nobody goes into that space. Stretch pass attempt, and who else? It's McMillan coming back to defend it as they were trying to connect with Jackson Shanahan, who opened the scoring in this one for the Hawks. If Virginia winds up holding on, we're going to be talking about the play of their blue line this whole tournament. But McMillan showed you right there just how dangerous they all are. And on a day when they weren't necessarily their best, so far they have been enough. Puck is loose behind the net, finally getting this one away. Still not out of the zone, and the Hawks will pick up. Looks like Carpenter and Ramarino. Carpenter, what a move. Ramarino, the opportunity. Oh, and it just didn't go. Ramarino made the move, and I think someone might have gotten a stick on it right at the end of the play there. Oh, man. Hawks fans were inches away from celebrating. Good turnout here of St. Joseph's fans. Ran into some of them at the hotel last night. They were very helpful with some additional pronunciations. Traveling well from Philadelphia, as this one is popped out of the zone. Opportunity here for Fingerhut. Linzo couldn't quite get that one deep. This is the third line, the Resto line. Puck comes free. Resto missed it, though. And this one popped way up, all the way into the Hawks zone. Giving chase now is Zave Green. Again, 2 goals for Green. Puck loose, and now they're able to make the exit. Good erasure there from Andrew Handelman. Puck still in the zone, and that one redirected. Oh, what a chance for the Hawks there. Then a late hit into the post, and this is going to be another Virginia penalty. Player is still down. I'm going to see in a second here who they got. Oh, this is concerning. A hit into the post is always tough. That thing doesn't necessarily always move. It's it's Jack Michaud, who has been liberal with throwing his body around today. And that's a cross check. That's a tough one there. We'll see what they wind up officially ruling this as. I think they're going to go review this, which means if they're reviewing this, that means there's the potential for a major here. What a impact it would have on this game. So what will the officials see here? Certainly this is at bare minimum a minor, but they have ruled it a major, and the question here is, do they drop it down to 2 or do they send him to the room early? That would be a big loss for Virginia. That's their number 1 center, Jack Michaud. He was a point-per-game player in conference play coming into this one, and we do have a ruling. They're sending him. I think they're sending him. Maybe not. Looked like he pointed to the room, but got another look at this here. Again, the hit into, who was Ryan Mans, who took the hit. And they are sending me shod. Wow. So serving the penalty is Danny Western. This is a massive moment in this game. 8:11 left in regulation, down by 1, and the Hawks are going to get a 5-minute major penalty. Face-off won immediately by Kyle Gross. Power play set up. The Hawks have not had much luck on the power play today. Shot fired on. That one was redirected wide. Gross used the backhand of the stick to try and get it back deep, but it didn't go. Some pressure coming from Trubish. He'll peel off. And back up the ice comes Ramarino and the Hawks. Took a long stretch pass, and Ramarino, he was able to box out a player. Ooh, pass backward, rode up and hit the referee for starters, but second got out of the zone. Now here's Carpenter, the electric James Carpenter. James Carpenter lost the puck in the slot, going to come back out to the blue line. Let's see if St. Joe's can establish possession here. This one through the slot, came back in, and there's number 3 to tie the game. It only took a minute and 1 second, and the power play will continue. We're tied at 3. Dylan Kuba. We'll get another look at the goal here in just a moment. James Carpenter is going to get an assist on that goal. And you can see Bass got a piece of it, I think, with his mask. So Carpenter now flirting with double-figure points in just a 3-game tournament. Ooh, there's a Virginia player. Haberl doesn't have a stick. Fortunately, they're able to clear that. So now, brand new ball game, but it is 3 apiece, 3 aside. And St. Joseph's will still have 4 minutes to try and find at least one more goal on this power play. The speed of this Cavalier team, you got to wonder if they're going to try at some point. You can see there's a little bit of aggressiveness here. That was as a party, putting some pressure on. But you got to wonder if there's any thought for Virginia. Do we try and make a shorthanded play for a goal here? We'll see. Because this is a dangerous moment here for the Cavaliers. Long pass up. That's Carpenter. Carpenter trying to power his way to the net. He has to pull up as he lost the puck. This is cleared back the other way. 2:51 to go on this power play. 6 minutes to go in regulation. We're tied at 3. If we go to overtime, there will be no intermission. We will play a 10-minute period, as they're going to say offside here for St. Joseph's. Should we go to overtime, there will be no immediate bringing out of the Zamboni. We'll play a 10-minute period first, and if it is still not decided, then we'll have our first run out of the Zamboni and a chance to freshen up the ice. Had a championship game last week decided in overtime. The ACC, apparently they just don't like deciding things in regulation. We shall see. St. Joseph's will have a chance, though, with this extended power play, and a major at that, to potentially avoid that scenario. Underneath the goal line, came out into the slot. Virginia able to clear. Good work there from, looked like Lyman, who cleared it. Little pressure applied by Davis Jones. Good stick there to slow down Carpenter. Great back pass. Good save on the first shot. No second shot. And Stoner will send this one down and clears it. We're down to the final 2 minutes of this major power play. The damage is already done, though. They scored the tying goal on this power play a minute into it. Kuba with the game-tying goal. Big move from Brazil, and the man they call Braz couldn't quite put that one home. Oh, my goodness. He's got some hands for a big man, and that shouldn't surprise you. Remember, he started this tournament on the second line, only went down to the fourth because of the return of Kyle Gross. And Braz has looked the part. ACC Elite Championship shot in, that one wide of the net. Great spot from the slot, couldn't get it to go. Cristiano going to send this one back down. 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining on the power play. And I think now if you're Virginia, any thought at something shorthanded, you can probably forget about unless a really bad turnover occurs. As a party was applying some pressure there. Now here come the Hawks. This is Braz. He got into the zone. Then so back to Braz. Big save from Bass. He was a little bit off balance, but makes the play. This one cleared, and Virginia peeling off. Slowed down by Tyson. Tyson, who is now stopped 26 of 29. Ooh, a pass into a spot. That one a little bit soft and lazy, and as a party is able to come get it and send it back down. We're down to 28 seconds to go on this power play. Virginia would be able to get out of this potentially with minimal damage done, but certainly some damage done. This gets deep. Ramarino giving chase, and that cleared one more time. 10 seconds to go. Don't know if they can get another rush up ice. Don't know if they're going to try. Already got a couple of changes for the Hawks, so that will do it. And the return of the man serving the penalty is Danny Western. He's back on the ice and immediately goes back to the bench. Michaud, though, is done for the game. That's Virginia's #1 center. Tied now at 3. The definition of team game coming up here. Graham Haberl sent that one up. Virginia corrals a loose puck in the neutral zone. Working at around the dot. And good erasure. Puck came out in front of the slot. Shot was not there. Shooter was tied up. Working inside the blue line. Couple of really good moves from Handelman. He can't escape. And now it's Borman with the puck. Hunter with the puck. And this one's sent around for St. Joseph's all the way down. Possible icing here. Let's see. No. Puck will slow down enough that Jones gets there. No icing. He flips back for Zave Green. 2 goals in the second period for Green. Virginia scored 3 in the second. 2-on-1 developing. Shot up, and that one went high, and now it's loose, and now a breakaway potentially developing here. I don't know that he's got the juice to get there. A penalty is called. And the question is this a penalty or a penalty shot? I think this is just going to be a power play. Zave Green, who scored 2 goals in the second period, going to the box now with exactly 1:59 to go. And we have a timeout. Yeah, that's a pretty good hook call right there. Hook or a slash, probably could get him for either. But a timeout makes sense for the Hawks here for a number of reasons. But the biggest one being you just had this extra long power play. Those guys are going to be a little bit tired. You need to get them as much wind as you can. This will be a massive 2 minutes here. And I got to think, if you're Virginia, you can't be afraid to try something shorthanded. You have all that speed and all that open ice. But this is also where, one way or another, regardless of what the strategy is here, your best players are on the blue line. Cristiano, Stoner, McMillan. These guys have been dynamite all season. They've been dynamite in this tournament. Carlson out to take the face-off for Virginia. Gross for the Hawks. Looks like Carpenter is set up at the far point. Face-off is won and cleared out by Virginia. And quick correction, Carpenter was not at the point. Just keeping an eye on him as he continues to be the most electric player. This is cleared down. 3 points in this game for Carpenter. He sends a pass up a little bit far. Good job holding the line there. See if they can establish some zone time. Puck comes off the stick, and now back checking. This is going to be a potential 2-on-1. Fired, and not only saved, but flying out of play by Tyson. And correction here, I don't think Tyson did not save it. It went off the post. Oh, man, that was massive. Hunter Carlson. Look at this. You'll see again on the replay here. We'll get an offensive zone faceoff coming in a minute. Excellent back check there by Shane Wilson. And that one, ricochets off the bar. I originally thought that Tyson got a piece of it. That was not the case. Wow, how close we were to that shorthanded opportunity, but we're late in the game. Third game in 3 days. Got a lot of tired legs out there. A mistake is possible whether you're on the power play or not. But Virginia so far has had the better of it on the penalty kill. And they've spent a lot of time on the PK today. Here's Carpenter. Carpenter trying to use his speed. Good edge work. Flips this towards the corner. And lost the puck. I think he was trying to get this back to the blue line. And now another 2-on-1. And this one can't get a stick on it. Pass was in too tight to the netminder. Wanted it back for Shane Wilson, and Carpenter may want to think about that one again. But we are near the end of this period. 38 seconds left on the power play. There's about maybe 1.5 second difference between the actual clock and the power play clock. So if we go to overtime, they'll have 1 second of a man advantage. So it's do it now, or we get back to 5-on-5 hockey. Here's the man they call Braz. Pass back to the point. Hawks have had a hard time establishing. Firing one on through traffic. No one knows where the puck is. Looked like it hit the netting. I don't know if Bass got a piece of it, but he didn't know where Linzo's shot had gone. We're down to the final 10 seconds here. I'm not sure what the issue is here. They sent Peter Kaplan off. Braz is going to take the face-off against Trubish. 10 seconds remaining in the period. The more important number now at this point. The big man won the face-off and then got that towards the net. Came loose in the slot, shot on, and a great shot block. Down to the final seconds, we are going to overtime in Winston-Salem. So we are going to overtime. Sudden death or sudden victory, whatever your preference is on how this is described. Sudden victory. The next goal wins is the basic premise of this. I don't know if we have a replay of that shot block at the end there. That was a huge potential moment in this game. If Virginia is able to win this shot block will mean everything. They get this out into the slot. And it's Trubish who scored a goal earlier. His goal gave Virginia their first and only lead of this game, and a massive shot block there on what looked like it could have been the winner. So now it's next goal wins. Bass versus Tyson. Virginia versus St. Joseph's. Sanat versus Keeney. One way or another, it will be a play, more than likely, a play on the margins that will decide this. To win the Elite League, it is an overtime period. 10 minutes on the clock. Winner take all. Carlson will face off, and Virginia able to go forward, and a quick save with the stick. And if you're Tyson, you probably like that early. Get yourself a little bit warmed up there. That one went into the netting and out of place. We'll get a D-zone face-off coming, or an O-zone face-off coming for Virginia, I should say. Carlson in. Michaud is out for the game with that misconduct, so he is skating between Green and let's see who they actually else put on that line. Green and As a Party now. This one chipped back down, could be an icing, and no, waved off. As a Party with a big play there to wave off the icing. As a Party, this one is loose in front. Virginia, no one can get to it. It's flipped out towards the benches, and the puck is on its side rolling, so this will be an icing. Here's Peter Kaplan in the face-off circle. Offensive zone face-off for Virginia after the icing. Back to McMillan. Alex McMillan has been dynamite this whole tournament. One got around to Hayburl, sent back down to Kaplan. Kaplan looking, scanning. Kaplan sends this back behind him. It's Trubish. Trubish, who had that huge shot block at the end of regulation. Oh, one of the Hawks lost their stick. This is trouble. Shot on wide of the net. Going to come back. Looks like Brazil is going to fish this one out. And is this an icing? No. Puck came up on its side. That time they say no icing. And they're able to get fresh legs out on the ice for St. Joseph's. It's Carpenter in the top line. Bad pass all the way back. And coming out to make this play, not risking anything, is Bass. Billy Bass has been pretty good in this game for Virginia, stopping 24 of 27. And you look at a couple of the shots that got past him. Traffic in front were an issue. Big move, shot on, that one barred down, but not in. Another one fired, that doesn't get through. Oh, Virginia has hit 2 crossbars since the score was tied at 3. Back the other way, here comes As a Party. As a Party. Back and getting a stick on that one. Nice effort there from Charlie Maratea. Maratea, haven't called his name a lot lately. He had a killer shift in the second period. Get to see this again here. From distance, what a move. And then in, and looked like hit the corner where the crossbar meets the post, and away. So Virginia inches away from ending this one, and now they'll take the O-zone face-off. They won it, went forward with it. Pass back from Green. Green has got 2 goals in this game. Working near the goal line. This one gets out to As a Party at the point. He gets this back to Jones. Jones fires one on. Puck is loose and sticked away by the netminder. He couldn't quite get it out, but Tyson makes the play, and we've got a penalty coming against St. Joseph's. Oh, man, better be careful there. Also, Hunter Carlson just could have gotten it on sportsmanlike there, I think. Carlos Rowland is going to go to the box for a slash. It was into the corner after that frantic play, and there's the slash. You can see it leads to the glove coming off. And now Peter Kaplan will take this faceoff again in the O-zone. The right-handed shot from the right dot wins the faceoff. But Trubish couldn't get there in time. Big effort there to force that by Neil Cudahy. We haven't seen him in a while. Took a bad penalty a little bit earlier. Scored a couple of goals in this tournament. And a lazy pass, this one intercepted. Tried to send it back up the ice, but St. Joe's was offside, and then this one sent into the Hawks bench by one of the Hawks. It's Cudahy who sent it into his own bench. Hey, what are you doing, man? Don't throw this puck at me. 3-3, 7:15 to go in the first overtime period. Virginia's had a little bit better in the run of play, and they are on the power play here. 1:35 to go. Next goal wins. Virginia won that faceoff. They have to go way back to get it, though. That's Stoner working behind his own net. Bass in front of him. And Stoner will begin the breakout. Long pass, and a little too long here. This one's sent back down, and Stoner will have to retrieve it with a little pressure from Kyle Gross. Couldn't have asked for a better way for this one to end if you're a neutral fan like I am. If you're a fan of one of these teams, heart palpitations have already started, and one of them will go home unhappy. Long pass up, attempted shorthanded pass. Now Virginia's got some numbers here, something cooking, but not moving with a lot of pace. Puck was lost. Another turnover. Trubish has it at the point. Dangerous pass there. And Virginia, let's see, they'll be able to establish some zone possession. The captain, Stoner, was open, and it looks like still not able to get this one out of the zone. Carpenter finally clears it, sends it towards his own bench, and it ricochets behind Bass. 28 seconds remaining on the Rowland slashing minor. Working now with some speed. Here's McMillan. Alex McMillan, excuse me. Sent it wide. Back to McMillan at the point now. Just in front of the logo, back to McMillan at the point. McMillan sends over to his left, shot on, that one didn't get through, and then diving on top of it is Tyson. Cooper Tyson knows that there is very little time left on the Virginia power play, making sure that you don't give up a softie here in this moment. 4 seconds to go. Left dot face-off coming. Carlson to take it, and won by the Hawks, but not out of the zone. Power play is over. Working in, shot didn't get through, and now an opportunity for the Hawks. They have a 3-on-2. Here's Rowland, good stick check there to sweep it away by McMillan. And Virginia wants to go back with it the other way. Again, I don't know who's going to win this, but McMillan and this defense core, Cristiano, Stoner, they've been excellent. Trying to get a shot in tight there for Azzopardi, didn't get it to go. This one back to Handelman, trapped in the corner now. Trying to get it back towards the point, which they're able to do successfully. Firing one on and seen all the way by Tyson. He gloves it. It was Hunter Carlson playing at the point for whatever reason there, and sort of the mantra of positionless hockey we talked about with the Rowan coaching staff last week. Sometimes you got to know when a guy's going to go up. Handelman had pinched in. Carlson's got to play back. So defensive zone faceoff. This one's sent all the way up, and I think this is going to be an icing here. So the Hawks got a little conservative there, and on the decision making just to chip that out, but misplay it, and it leads to an icing. So Virginia will get another chance at an offensive zone faceoff here. Graham Wiggins will take it. The right-hander from the right dot, and he didn't win it. And the Hawks are able to get this one out. Opportunity developing. Shot on. That one didn't go. Went behind the net. Puck loose around the red line. Virginia able to corral just outside the dot. Sending this one up back to the neutral zone. It was turned over. And a couple of turnovers back and forth. Here's Borman. Chipped into the Hawks zone by Wiggins. D-to-D passing. And then finally up into the neutral zone. Jackson Shanahan. Oh, nice pass for Shanahan to Carpenter. And we've got a whistle. So I think this is an offside. Then there was a little post-whistle stuff after the play. I got to tell you what, that was pretty close. I didn't see the offside, but I don't think it was Carpenter who was off. See it here. Yeah, on the far side of the ice. I am going to guess that was Ramarino since that was their line out there. I didn't see for sure that it was him based on that distance, but back the other way, here comes Virginia. They are onside there. Fired that one on and gloved by Tyson. He's made 32 saves in this one. Four minutes and 6 seconds remaining in the overtime period. Alex Wiederspiel here with you on AAU Plus. Thanks for being here for the ACCHL Elite Championship game. Big hit, but a better clear out. 2-on-1, developing the shot. The pass, no, he goes for the shot. And unhappy with the result there was Aiden Linzo. Slammed his stick down as Bass made a big save. It's an interesting choice there. He goes for the shot, but he tries to use Stoner as a screen there. Stoner played the shot rather than the pass. Puck gets out of the zone. Back to that St. Joseph's blue line. Here's Braz. Braz working with the backhand behind the net. Puck goes by him. And out with speed. That was Azzopardi. He lost it. Linzo tried to send it deep, couldn't get there. And Virginia with it in the neutral zone. Azzopardi, the drop pass. Attempted to go back to Azzopardi on a give and go. Broken up by the Hawks. Puck was loose in the slot and no shot, but there was no way that Tyson wasn't gloving that one here. Kaplan to take the face-off again. Right-hander on the right side for Virginia. He wins it. And out of the zone, McMillan couldn't hold the line. Late here in this first overtime period. If we don't have a goal here, the Zamboni will come out. This is sent deep, and giving chase to this one is Shane Wilson. Boy, you can feel how much these guys want this here. Soft shot through, and no problem for Bass. It was Neil Cudahy who sent that one on. So offensive zone face-off coming for the Hawks. Won by Virginia. They'll try to take this back out. It is Stoner, the captain. It was a nifty little spin there, really a circle to do what he needed to do and create some space. Sent down deep by Virginia. Giving chase to the wall. Now back at the half wall. Cavaliers could not establish zone presence here, and now here come the five-man unit for the Hawks with some speed. Chipped into the zone. Opportunity. Shot on, and there's your winner! Innocuous little shot for St. Joseph's. But they complete the comeback, down 3-2, and get the win. Pandemonium on the ice, sticks, gloves everywhere. Dean Keeney's squad has been tested. After they blew out App State in the opening game 16-1, you would think they're going to cruise through. And that simply wasn't the case. They were tested by Elon, and now they've been tested by Virginia. There is a review going on. This was a pretty short review, though. All right, we're still waiting to see exactly what is going on here. They came back and they're looking at it again now. So I guess they didn't fully initiate the review the first time. So the Hawks think they have won. We're going to show you a replay of the goal as soon as we can. We're going to see this again here. The question here is going to be on Jackson Shanahan. It's awfully close. So Shanahan definitely gets in a little earlier than you'd probably like. Boy, I got to tell you, I think he might be off. My first thought there is Jackson Shanahan might be offside. We're going to see how they rule this here. The difficult part of this, we've actually seen this before at multiple different levels of hockey. This has occurred before where an offside review has eliminated a game-winning goal in overtime. I believe as well occurred in the PWHL in a critical final a couple of years ago. Awful lot of sticks and helmets and general apparel to pick up. Hawks faithful getting restless. So we saw what they were reviewing, and it's certainly close, but I would be concerned at the moment that Jackson Shanahan might have been offside on that particular play in question. Looks like we're getting a call here in a moment. And that is the winner. We'll show you the replay as soon as we can. Sounds like there is not enough evidence to overturn the call. So the call stands. And it's Trey Fingerhut. After all of that, he was mobbed so quickly. Yeah, you can see this here. Puck flipped over the blue line, and Shanahan's skate is up in the air. But Fingerhut, that's a brilliant individual play, whether or not you agree with the call. Trey Fingerhut's goal is the winner. 4-3 your final in overtime. And St. Joseph's moving on to the AAU championships in Jacksonville next month. St. Joseph's moving on to the ACC HL Premier League next season. And it ends in a storybook way for them in the ACC HL Elite Division. Just an absolutely brilliantly played game of hockey between these two teams. St. Joseph's jumped out to a 2-0 lead with 2 goals in the back half of the first period. Virginia slowly worked their way back into the game. And then, when the time was right, they struck with the iron being red hot. 3 goals in a span of 3 minutes and 29 seconds in the second period. And ultimately, leading 3-2 going into the third. It was a major penalty call that sent Jack Michaud to the locker room for the rest of the game, led to the tying goal. And then in overtime, St. Joseph survives, kills a penalty. And Tyler Fingerhut, an unsung hero in this tournament. Who else in the hockey world? He's the guy who gets the job done. We talked about it earlier in the SEC game when Tennessee's Tommy Carroll scored his second goal in as many games. They just announced Josh Stoner as the defenseman of the year for the division. Well deserved. And James Carpenter wins forward of the year. No surprise there. Extremely well deserved. His numbers were off the charts good. Shane Wilson named the tournament MVP and the player of the year, the captain for this St. Joseph squad. Players chanting, "We want the cup." Wilson will bring them the cup. And they mob him. Couldn't have asked for a better final game in this weekend, in this tournament. "14 games in 4 days, and it all culminates with the action today. 2 champions awarded in the SEC, victorious South Carolina, and in the ACC Elite, these St. Joseph's Hawks. 4-3 your final in overtime. We're going to have analysis. We're going to have interviews. We're going to have much more coming up. For now, we're going to take a break. The victorious Hawks celebrating ringside here in Winston-Salem. We'll be back shortly on AAU Plus. "4-3 the final in this one. St. Joseph's comes from behind to win in overtime. It took a late third period goal and then the overtime winner, but the Hawks have won the division. This all started with a brilliant effort from James Carpenter. It was the forward of the year. He went up, makes this play to open the scoring 1-0. And the first couple shots didn't go, but then it was Jackson Shanahan, who would be critical on that review later, who follows this play up and gets the goal after the failed clear. 1-0 St. Joe's late in the first, and then at the very end of the first period, the Hawks got one more. As a brilliant play by Carpenter, he used Cristiano as a screen and beat Bass 2-0. Then into the second period, Virginia starts to go to work. They score 3 goals in a span of 3 minutes and 29 seconds. Zave Green won through traffic. That made it 2-1. Then another one, again from distance through traffic, 2-2. And moments later, Virginia found another one on the power play, as it just trickled in from Adam Trubish. Tyson just could not squeeze it shut there. But then on the major penalty, St. Joe's goes to work. And as Michaud is thrown from the game with a misconduct for hitting a man into the post, he hit Mans into the post and was tossed from the game. It was 1 minute into that power play that the game was tied. Huge goal. Dylan Kuba. And then the winner in overtime. Controversial, possible offside, reviewed, not enough evidence to overturn, and Fingerhut goes bar down. Ball game. And your champions of the ACC Elite Division, the St. Joseph's Hawks. 4-3 the final in this one. We'll step aside, come back. We'll have interviews with the victorious coach. And I imagine we're going to be talking with maybe Shane Wilson, maybe James Carpenter, who knows? Maybe it'll be Tyler Fingerhut, the winning goal. We'll tell you on the other side of this next break right here on AAU Plus. Final score here, 4-3. St. Joe's on top of Virginia. And a brilliantly played hockey game. 2 goals for the Hawks in the first. Virginia countered with 3 goals in the second. The Hawks tied it in the third period late on a major penalty. And then Virginia gave their best push late in the third and into overtime, but finally the winner on a controversial goal, but a goal nonetheless, called more accurate. I was going to say not enough evidence to overturn, so the call stood, as they say. But Fingerhut's goal gets the job done. 4-3, the final here. Big win here for St. Joseph's, Admiral Cup champions for the ACC Elite Division. And we apologize. We know that this is taking a while. We're still working on bringing on coach, bringing on a player, at least one player, but hopefully momentarily. So if you're going to stick with us, we'll stick with you. In the meantime, we'll take one more look at the winner. So Tyler Fingerhut scores the winner, and you can see the quick D to O transition here up the boards, and Fingerhut makes a really good stick check and then comes up and fights for the puck and then fires on it. It's a great individual effort. The only question was Jackson Shanahan offside, and obviously it was called a goal on the ice, so you have to have indisputable video evidence, which is a term that entered the lexicon, I feel like, and has never left in all sports. And once they reviewed it, they said they didn't have indisputable video evidence, and that was that. Tough call on the ice either way. Tough way to go down if you're Virginia. But if you're a fan of the Hawks, if you're a parent of one of these players, you do not care. You are thrilled and grateful that the journey is complete. At least for now, this part of the journey, this chapter of the story. The next chapter, of course, will be in Jacksonville, where we'll get a chance to see this team in the AAU championships. We're going to get word here in just a moment. We're going to get Dean Keeney, the head coach of St. Joseph's. And Coach,
how we doing?
Congratulations.
Oh man, that was absolutely crazy. I mean, you know, they battled through. They find a way to win. I was saying it earlier. They're such a tight-knit group, and just, you know, finishing it off. It was their goal all year. They're unbelievable. It was just surreal, and didn't make it easy for ourselves, but you know, I was a ball of emotions in that overtime, and just so happy for them.
Can you take me through Trey Fingerhut on that play? Just a brilliant individual effort, and it was great D to O transition in the back, but talk about what it meant to see Trey make that play.
He told me actually on the bus ride down here, because he didn't have a goal coming into this tournament. And he was like, you know what, I'm going to score a goal, and it's going to be a big one. And he was on line. I mean, that was the biggest goal probably anybody's ever scored in their entire life. So, you know, it's crazy how things worked out. We're unbelievably happy. You know, we're playing with heavy hearts this year. We lost our GM and former coach, Hugh Walsh, back in March of last year. Hugh wore number 26 when he played at St. Joe's. It's 2026. It's just destiny.
Well, let me ask you about James Carpenter, who just won Forward of the Year, and I almost don't know what else to say about his performance at this point. You said it to us the last 2 days. He does things in practice that you guys can't even see, that we get to see, and I felt a little privy to it. And those first 2 goals in the first period to get you guys out in front, those are unbelievable plays from Carpenter. One, to start the sequence that leads to the goal, and then the second goal where he uses a defenseman to screen the goalie.
He's an unbelievable player. I mean, he's a freak athlete. He trains hard. He does the right things in the offseason, and it shows. I mean, he's had an unbelievable tournament. You see the goals that he can score yesterday. He's a walking human highlight reel.
And one last question, Coach. Just talk about your captain, Shane Wilson, who Player of the Year, tournament MVP. What does he mean to this program? What does he mean to you?
He's the heartbeat. I love the kid. There's not enough good words to say about him. He makes everybody tick in our locker room, and it's just, you know, I'm so happy that he could win one on his way out as a senior. It's storybook ending.
Coach, congratulations. Good luck in Jacksonville.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
That's Coach Dean Keeney, and St. Joseph's is moving up and moving on. Both getting promoted and heading on to play more postseason hockey ahead in Jacksonville, Florida. We're going to hear from Shane Wilson in just a moment. We've got Shane Wilson now. Shane, congratulations, man. What's up?
How are we doing, guys?
How are you?
Oh, unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
In your wildest dreams, when did you start playing hockey, Shane?
Probably 5 years old.
In your wildest dreams, could you have imagined 15, 16, 17 years ago when you started playing that this might be how it would end, you captaining a team that wins a championship?
No, you literally can't make it up. It's so surreal.
Tell me a little bit about the work that went into getting this done.
Oh, we just grinded away, Getting that early lead and falling behind going into the third, we just put our heads down, went right back to work, and just pulled out a win.
I know you obviously had a monster year. You won Player of the Year. You're the tournament MVP. And I'm going to ask you about your game in a minute, but I also want to ask about James Carpenter, who you get probably the best seat in the house to watch. And he made some unbelievable plays all game, but particularly in the first period and on the penalty kill as well. He had a big blocked shot. Tell me a little bit about watching that guy up close.
Yeah, he's unreal. He does everything you want from him. He's such a special player, and it's come through for us all year long.
And then
great.
I want you to take me through your tournament. How did you feel coming into this one? Did you expect to be as impactful on the blue line as you were?
Yeah, I can't really take all the credit for myself. We were just so confident as a team coming in, and it took everyone. It literally took everyone.
Yeah, I know, and that's a classic cliche from hockey players, but I know it's true.
Of course, yeah.
Congratulations. Best of luck moving forward in Jacksonville, and go enjoy and celebrate.
Yeah, thank you.
That is Shane Wilson, captain of the championship-winning team here in the ACCHL Elite Division. St. Joseph's gets the job done, and that is also it for us as well. 4-3 the final score. It has been a brilliant couple of days here. 14 games Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday between the SEC and the ACCHL Elite Division. For the entire video productions crew, for all the broadcasters who were a part of this broadcast for the last 4 days, I'm Alex Wiederspiel saying so long, and we'll meet again next time.